1S1. Any unit in District 2, Zone 2, having a chainsaw and some availability to help out one of our own, please?
Clearing my 38. I'll be on a 1019 to HCF.
1021-4642, priority 3.
Code 2 for a 1055 no contact well-being check on one of
Code
our
this
own.
location. Could I have a unit 1025 with me for Code 2? Bring in some water.
Hey guys, I thought I would do a video on the new TalkLink gateway system. This particular one is a prototype, so it's more of a concept proof, but it works great. This system is actually going to go to a commercial entity, but the new production models of this will be somewhat similar, although we'll upgrade the microcomputer to a more powerful one. The wiring harnesses will be proper for what we're using it for. And there'll probably be some type of wireless keyboard, maybe a micro keyboard, Bluetooth keyboard with maybe a mouse pad on or something like that. And maybe it'll come with like a 7-inch monitor or something, because this is when it's set up for a gateway, you're not going to actually be in front of this computer. So this gateway is being displayed right here on this monitor. Again, there's no real reason to have a full-size monitor on this for gateway use, but the point is we want to be able to sell these things already ready to go, and you can interface it into a radio. It's a self-contained unit. It uses hardwired PTT controls, no Vox on this system, and it transmits the audio from the radio to the TalkLink system as a locked feature. So again, no Vox control on that either. So the point of not using Vox is very unreliable, and it's very difficult on most Vox systems to get the mix right of proper detection without having over-modulated or over-deviated audio. And then vice versa, if you lower the audio on most Vox systems so it's pleasant, then it falses or it unkeys in the middle of a sentence when you pause or something. That doesn't work well. So it's not a possibility that we go in that direction. So we spent quite a bit of time, the developer and myself, trying to conquer that problem and have a hard-wired PTT. So let me show you what we've got going on here. I'm going to get you a little closer. Okay, so what we have here is a microcomputer tied in with a relay. The relay is used for PTT control. The blue light on the relay interface just simply indicates it's getting power. Right now we have a trackball plugged into it for mouse cursor control, but again I would like to have a self-contained or a small Bluetooth micro keyboard with a mouse pad, which would make it better. It does support Wi-Fi. Right now it's plugged into Ethernet, and the output on this particular one is HDMI with power input on the back side of it. All right, so the new one will have a dual output, a dual HDMI output that we can use for either I'll get into that later. Either use it as a personal PC for IMAS, or it could be used for a gateway, but it's a little bit overkill for the gateway. So what we got here is we got the machine set up. So this is the machine right here. We have the US proprietary TalkLink transit system set up in gateway mode. Let me show you that quickly. If we go down to the configure down here, you see that it's set up in, is this station a radio gateway? We say yes to that. When we say yes to that, it's looking for PTT controls, and there's a piece of software that's basically running in the background. And that background is monitoring activity on TalkLink. So if I was to say pull up another computer, say this machine right here, and I was to hold down either the push to talk button or the lock button, it would make the system transmit. The other option is that we hit the control space bar key, and you'll see if I do that, it transmits. You can also transmit by just clicking on the actual PTT button itself. And the lock is not typically used too much when you're talking on TalkLink through a radio gateway, because naturally if I lock that down, the radio over here is going to time out. So what happens is when I press the PTT button, either the mouse or the control spacebar, it will trigger the radio to key up. You can hear the PTT ID, the side tone coming through the radio, but you also hear it on TalkLink. So basically, look at TalkLink as an extension to the radio it's connected to. Of course, TalkLink works without a radio as well, but this particular video is about the gateway itself. So we're obviously talking about an interfaced radio. So when somebody transmits on a normal computer, a user computer, I guess you could say, it tells the radio to transmit. The PTT-ID side tone is heard on the actual computer. That's what the beeping sound is. Okay, that means that the ID just got sent out by the radio, just like it would be if you were behind this radio using the radio directly. It functions the same way. You'll notice on the gateway itself that it's locked down. The PTT is locked down, indicating the thing is constantly transmitting. It's not making the radio transmit. It's basically taking the audio and constantly making sure it's available on to the users. You'll notice that on a user computer, you'll see under the gateway peer that's here. I'm not sure if you can actually see that. There is a a green indicator. That green indicator simply means that the gateway is constantly locked down. Its PTT is locked down. So that means that any communications that goes over the radio system, any audio at all, will end up coming over the TalkLink system on all users' computers or Android apps. So if we were to use a radio and turn it on that system, and we transmit, you should hear it on this computer here, this user computer. So I'm going to transmit it now. Check 1, 2.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, so if somebody was to key up on the computer, you would hear the identifier and the audio coming over the radio system. I'm going to do that. Of course, it's probably going to feed back because they're so close together. Check 1, 2. So it basically patches the audio in both directions. You'll notice that it's very clear. It uses, like I said, PTT positive control. There's no Vox control. It constantly TalkLink, the TalkLink gateway computer is constantly patching the audio from the radio. This way, there's no need for Vox control on that either. And you'll notice if we do touch a button over here, and the radio beeps, that audio will be put onto TalkLink. Again, we're trying to make the TalkLink system an extension of the radio when you're using it as a gateway. So if we push a button here, you can hear it on the actual radio itself, or on the computer rather. So the list of all the peers will show up, anybody connected to the system, including the gateway, and the whole system will be packaged up. When you see the final version, this is just a prototype. Final version will have a nice, neat package of cables. It'll probably be Lexian for the base, but it'll be branded and the corners will be rounded. Should be pretty nice. It'll have a case on top with a cooling fan. And again, the microcomputer will be quite a bit more powerful than the one we're using now. But for gateway use, it's not absolutely necessary. Now, the extension of this system is to also package these up for IMAS, or the Incident Management Alert System, which is what TalkLink was really designed for. This particular one we're looking at a standalone called Transit. This is also available in an Android app. But the point is that this system was made for, TalkLink was made for IMAS system, the computer-aided dispatching system. And what we're going to do is we're going to make this version in a PC mountable, a monitor PC mountable. So we're going to take this microcomputer in a different role, not for the actual gateway, and we're going to make it so it's available to be mounted on the back of a standard full-size monitor, and that would give us the capability of running a small, inexpensive microcomputer for the IMAS system. So if you had multiple IMAS dispatchers, or you had multiple members that needed an IMAS computer, rather than trying to take an old computer and resurrect it, or wasting a full-size desktop for something like that, we could actually use the microcomputer system for the IMAS and have a pre-made system that's basically plug and play. Just turn it on, it runs maybe a Linux operating system, and everything is ready to go. All you gotta do is plug it in the wall. That's the goal anyway. Alright, so anyway, I think that's pretty good. I appreciate you watching, and we're going to continue with progress on this. I'll keep you updated.